Smart 24, driving business.
All right, now the funny twist here is that the person behind the cameras today is a lady, and also the person in the control room is as well a female. So you can easily see where the issue to do with women conversations is all about. And of course, we'll be back from the break. You're watching the Policon, where we discuss politics and economics. My name is Joram Posonko, and I'm still with Hajat Farida Chiboa, who is the chairperson, Uganda Women's Council. And before we even returned here, she was still telling me lots of the kind of achievements, and she does look to be someone who's at least proud and confident now that women have a serious voice. And you can easily know that the developments that the women have done, even in leadership roles, currently the cabinet has got a number of women. And it's actually on record that we do now have quite a number of women outweighing the number of men, which clearly shows you that the president does know of the impact of women in power. And of course, in the leadership roles, you get to realize that most of them have at least performed so well. Across the East African region, for example, the Tanzanian president also clearly gives you a very huge point of view to understand how impactful women are. In Uganda here, the vice president, the prime minister, and her vice, as well as the speaker to parliament, all females.
And the deputy prime minister.
And the deputy prime minister. So you can
and cabinet ministers.
The cabinet, most of the numbers in there, the most numbers women. Yes. So you can easily see how impactful that has been. And now, Hajat, as we return to our discussion, the achievements before we go into the challenges. Any other achievement that you will notably have to put out there?
Yes, like you didn't even talk about the powerful women in different authorities. And yes,
I know one that I look up to a lot. There's Anju Cole. We've got quite a number of women, by the way.
Chisaka Dorothy, Allen Kajina, so many of them.
And Allen Kajina has been doing tremendously.
so much, and she makes us proud.
Yes.
I didn't talk about the issue, one of the achievements.
Okay.
Actually, this one, we got it on the first day. When we came into office, the president was the guest of honor on our inauguration. And looking at the act and our mandate, we are meant to develop other women. But of course, in my statement, the first speech before the president as the chairperson of the Women's Council, I mentioned out the issue of us taking on the mantle of developing others. But then I was like, how can we develop others when most of us are not even developed? So I requested that if there is an opportunity for us to get a startup, we welcome it so that we can go back and lead as real leaders. And a leader has to lead by example.
Yes, you have to lead by example.
There and then the president gave all the elected women leaders at the district level one heifer.
Okay, to start from.
If those who were around and the 5 who were, the 4 who were in the districts.
Oh.
So at least I'm happy to note that most of them, apart from just a few districts, like 3 or 4, they did get, but the rest got. And women are actually, they give testimonies that they have really got a very good opportunity of selling the milk and what. So it was a very big achievement. We registered it on the very first day.
Okay.
Yes.
And besides that, I think with the kind of achievements, I do know there are always shortcomings. And in most cases, shortcomings always impact or try to cover the shade. Here in Uganda, normally people are too quick to criticize. We normally, first of all, look at the bad side of the things before we even appreciate the good. So if you look at the challenges that you faced and the challenges that women are still facing, that you feel we need to step up before it goes out of hand.
Okay, first of all, like I told you,
yes.
Revamping the Women's Council was not that easy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine someone finding an office that had no office bearers for 15 years. Indeed, it has been a very big challenge, but I want to thank whoever has really been instrumental in our struggle to revamp the Women's Council. That is Ministry of Gender, our Secretariat, and some development partners who have really helped us. And most importantly, the President of the Republic of Uganda, because he had made sure, he has been on making sure that he monitors what we do, how do we implement, and he has really helped us to achieve what I have just highlighted. Okay. And we had started very well, but like everyone is aware, COVID affected us so much. It was a real setback. We didn't implement our programs like we had really planned, so it affected us, and of course we had a setback because of it. But another challenge that we have, we didn't fully implement that household model, the household model at the village. Okay. We didn't launch it. We had so many plans. We wanted to just go down to the village and have an opportunity to meet all the women leaders in the village, in the villages of Uganda, to empower them with information like I have just told you, which we thought that really it would impact so much positively on the women that they lead, but we have not gotten that opportunity. And we think that in the near future we can work on it. And yes, another challenge is that the fact that we didn't go out to speak to these women, some of them still have that fear in them. Others complain that since we were elected, we have not been talked to, we don't even know our roles and responsibilities. Like I have told you, we stopped at the parish level. We have not reached the chairpersons of the villages. We have not talked to them how they should penetrate the market, how they should penetrate the NGOs, how we have not actually tipped them on how to go about with issues to do with women. How do we empower ourselves? How do we? But we expected all these things to come out when we roll out this household model. So that is still the gap that we are still having. And of course, our women, especially, because when we talk about the women, we don't talk about these women who were like village. We don't talk about women in towns. We normally base our focus on the rural woman, the other woman in the last village of Kaperebyong. Because yes, those I don't want to call them local women, because those women in the last districts, like Kisoro, they are deep in the village. Yes. How do they get to know about all the programs? How do they get to know about their roles and responsibilities? How do they know that a woman can even work from home? How do they get out of the danger of domestic violence? How do they learn and understand that it is their roles and responsibility to nurture children, that we have a role to play in our families? How do they get to deal with relatives who want to chase them out of their homes? Like if a woman has lost a husband, how do they know all issues that are rotating around them? How are they empowered? Some women even fear to walk in the office of the CDO, the community development officer. Yes, yet this is their direct office where they have to go. Some women don't even know that they have a role to play. It is even better to go in the office of the sub-county chairperson and you introduce yourself as the Navacha of village A. They don't have that confidence They don't know that even on a function, they are supposed to be introduced. Why? How come the chairman of a village comes on a function and is introduced, and you, the never child of a village, you come and they don't introduce you, and you don't even speak? So they are always left behind there. We still have that issue of leaving us behind. As the speeches are going on, the chairperson of the women is busy in the kitchen. So, because if we leave that gap, even the technical people who are handling all these government programs will not understand our relevance. That is the biggest challenge that I can see. Because we are not yet there that if the chairperson of a district is invited, even the chairperson of the district of the Women's Council should equally also be invited. If you're in a parents' meeting in a school, do you avail yourself and make sure that they recognize that you're there?
Okay.
And if you don't, then nobody will talk about you.
True. Nobody will feel your presence.
Absolutely. And even if there is a problem, nobody will consult you because they don't know. So that is why you see me. Yes, me, when I introduce myself, I say I'm the national chair. And if you don't put the national,
people won't know which position.
Yes, it affects me because I'm not appointed. Okay. Nobody appointed me to be a national chair. I was elected to be a national chair.
Okay.
On behalf of all the women who voted, those who voted me in office.
Okay.
So I proudly say I'm a national chair of all the women, including all the big women that we have in cabinet. Yes. The moment you're a woman in Uganda, you're a member of the Women's Council.
Very true.
So this is a big challenge that our women in the villages, in the sub-counties, even this PDM here,
yes,
some are not even invited.
They're not included even in these discussions.
Yes.
Okay.
They even fear these offices. If you're a woman leader in a village,
okay,
what prohibits you from walking into the office of the nearest office is the town clerk, if it is a town council, or the district CDO, or the sub-county community development officer, or the district chairman, or the sub-county chairperson. Okay. Why don't you walk there and introduce yourself and ask the CDO what is here for our women? Because all the programs come, they go in. Actually, they say the implementers are the technical people. The issue of the women getting in touch with the technical people, it is still a big challenge. Because Women Council, for us as women leaders, you say eyes on, hands what? Off. Okay. If there is a program, there is money, you just monitor, you just see, but you have to make noise that you make sure that allocation of yours is put to the right people. If you don't go there, nobody will call you. Okay. So I have always talked to them that don't wait for these technical people to invite you. They will not call you, but know your mandate. Go, be humble, speak to them, let them know that you know your roles and responsibility.
Okay. Now,
they will always involve you.
Now, let's look at digital accessibility. During the Women's Day celebrations, the theme was rotating around innovation and technology for gender equality, or the idea was digital for all. And the president as well stretched away a little bit from the same theme and mentioned that women need to engage in agriculture, such as cattle rearing and all the agricultural activities, to at least see how best they can get some money or get involved. And of course, he did mention something to do with household incomes, raising household incomes, because he does know of the importance of that, because that is where the power of the economy starts from the grassroots. By the look of things now, the world that we are living in is changing rapidly. The internet has now become the order of the day, and of course everyone has been forced to move into that trend, whether you like it or not. It's the new era that we are in. Now, digital accessibility. How do we help these women? How do the women ideas, for example, business ideas, get to be at least understood? Or how do they get interpreted into this new era of innovation and technology?
First of all, I want to appreciate
Okay.
this year's theme, that is something to do with science and technology.
Yes.
Like you have clearly stated it, that it is the way to go.
Yes.
But most importantly, we need to create awareness.
Very true.
We need to create awareness for purposes of everybody
Okay.
to embracing the digital world, because it is the way to go.
Okay.
Like the president talked about agriculture.
Yes.
Yes, he is right. But looking at the digital world or the internet, still women can benefit. How do they benefit? There is nothing wrong with you harvesting your products or taking a picture of your, like for example, a cattle or your produce. You take a picture, you market it, you sell it. This is where we want to be. This is where we want to see ourselves. There is nothing wrong with a woman in the market taking a picture of what she's selling in the market of Karere, posting it and getting the money and maybe making deliveries. This is where we have reached. But I want to encourage my fellow women out there.
Yes.
First of all, we had a thinking. We thought that things are going to be easy
For the women.
for the women. But things have never been easy anywhere. Technology is not for only men and young people.
Very true.
It is a cross-cutting issue. It is something that we all need to embrace.
And we can learn with time.
Absolutely.
Every day.
We have seen people working from their homes on computers, earning money without even seeing the customer.
Very true.
You just post and make your things right and you get money, and again they make orders just like that. I want to share with you a story.
Okay, sure.
Recently I went to the holy place, you can call it Mecca,
Okay.
but immediately after COVID.
Yes.
But upon reaching there, we went with old women and men.
Okay.
But I can assure you, if you didn't have a smartphone, they had to use your pocket money first thing to buy a
one.
smartphone, so that you get access, because you would not enter without
Maybe
it is
a
called
person-
tawakalna.
Okay.
You had to show. You
And
don't.
the only way you
the
could
only
show
way
it
you
is
could
with
not
a
go with your Mapesa phone.
Very true, very
Nothing like that.
Yes.
So whether you want it, technology will catch you up. So we need to catch up with technology before it catches us
Okay.
unaware.
All right.
So women should embrace technology whether we want it or not.
Okay.
Yes.
And in any way, how can we help, for example, some of these women who do not have, because sometimes technology comes with a fee or comes at a more expensive fee, but then we want to at least have these people, other people in the villages, for example, up country, to access these services. What best way can we do?
I think it is now, this one bounces back to the Ministry of ICT.
Okay.
They should create awareness. They should make sure that they create channels. If ICT is really here to help people,
Yes.
we need to create avenues on how people can best achieve or get to know about technology in its depth.
Yes.
We know it comes with a cost, but first of all, we need to know how to use technology. This is small, like even WhatsApp. WhatsApp is actually like the beginning point. Even using that smartphone, it is the beginning of what? Technology. Then we can graduate to the computer, what, until we reach at the highest level. But at least we need to make sure that every opportunity that Ministry of ICT has should be utilized properly, putting into consideration that we need to get there. We need to get there. We need, this is why I have been telling you since we started our discussion, that we need to know the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders in this case? Why don't you use the Women's Council structure to make sure that you train all the leaders in ICT so that you get a channel that can help you to train others? Yes.
Okay. And
why don't you use the Youth Council structure? Why don't you use the council for people with disability? Because these are all channels that can take you to the grassroots people.
Okay.
Yes.
And then how are we going to promote this culture of innovation, for example, in women now? Because at least with the young women, for them who are actually accessing education at a young age, the universities, secondary schools are already providing this. Now let's look at, for example, our mothers who are still in business for now. How are we going to promote this culture into them? How are we going to instill this culture of knowing that, well, technology is here and you really don't need to fight it. Let us embrace it.
But I think this one I want to bring it out clearly.
Okay.
If there is a category of people that you can never joke around with, are the women.
When they want something.
Absolutely. Never take a woman for granted. I'm telling you, when it comes to innovation, women are already there. You just need to polish them.
Yes.
Women are very sharp.
They do catch up very fast.
Very fast. So you don't need a lot. You just bring a program or a project, they will embrace it and catch up with it. Women are very fast. And first of all, they are willing. You see, all these things we are talking about, the willingness is key. You can come up with something, but the will is not there. You can't achieve. You have to know that the willingness is there. So these women, first of all, women, before we got where we are now,
yes,
women suffered a lot. So I don't see women not taking up any space that is provided. Women, where it has reached now, first of all, there are so many single mothers. There are so many widows. There are those that have not yet gotten married, but they want to get there. They want to be exposed now beyond anything. You can see how women are fighting to take up everything. So don't think that with the technology, they will leave it. Let Ministry of ICT bring something on board and you'll see how women will catch up with it in a very short period of time.
All right.
Yes, and for them, they don't fear, by the way. Women don't fear. And when a woman, they don't fear taking risks. And when a woman starts up something, you know she will finish it.
More so when she has started it willingly.
Willingly, the will has to be there.
Okay, now lastly, what are your final remarks to the women out there? Women in business, women in leadership, the young women out there, the young girls who aspire to be great once they reach up to the skies and everything, as we are summing up our discussion today.
First of all, I want all the women that are watching us, like he has mentioned, all the categories of women, to first of all appreciate the fact that we are women. It was not our choice to be women, but it was the will of God that we became women, and we have to use our being women strategically. Let's take up all the spaces. Don't fear to take risks. And when it comes to mothers, I would really love to see a mother taking up the responsibility of nurturing her children into the best people that the country needs. So my appeal to the women there that are not working, kindly make sure that you earn something. Because at this era, we don't have to wait for any man. Because we have reached to the level where you will wait for a man who does not even have a coin in his pockets.
And you will run away.
I'm telling you, these people, they also need help. Don't wait for them to help you. COVID taught us a lesson. time reached when men could not even facilitate or give anything. And I want to encourage the men out there to support your women. Please support them. If you want to have peace with the person who created you, or God who created you as men, take up the responsibility. If you fail to take up the responsibility, don't be scared, and don't be scared that you don't get money. God will always give money to a person who is responsible. Take your children to school, look after your families, and make sure you respect your women. And to the women out there, these men, we can manage them. Please don't abandon your children to leave them in homes. Those children are going to suffer. Those children will blame you. As a mother, always fight for your children and make sure you look after them. You'll enjoy after they have achieved what you wanted.
All right, and there you have it. That is Hajat Farida Chiboa, who is the chairperson of the National Women Council. Of course, our discussion today has been looking at digital accessibility, but big on women empowerment. Of course, looking at gender equality, but focusing on conversations where women, inclusive of innovation and technology, how they can be part of it. Our conversation was partly a lot to do with the Uganda Women Council, and I do believe at least you've got a picture about it and where you should be able to get more of the information regarding the Women Council. You never know, you may be the next leader in there, and of course the next chairperson, or at least a district representative or chairperson. For us here at Smart 24 TV,
and on the issue of technology.
And the issue of technology.
And on the issue of technology, no woman should be left behind. Technology is for all of us.
Sure.
Yeah, we shouldn't miss an opportunity because we have issues with technology. Let's take up all the spaces. So technology is not for only the young people or the men. We have already been there, and let's make sure that on the issues to do with technology, we are there.
Yes, and there you have it. If it's the issues to do with technology, please take charge, be part. And for us at Smart 24 TV, we say we drive business. So continue driving business and taking part in technology and innovation. Take up those spaces. There's literally nothing a man can do that a woman can do. The saying even goes that what a man can do, a woman can do better. So we encourage our dear sisters.
But you don't go to the labor ward.
Oh. So that is where it's exceptional
for us. Yes.
Yes. And besides that, thank you very much for watching the Policon, where we discuss politics and economics. Till next time, have a blessed week ahead of you, and may God see you.